Well, I got a little project here this evening. Um, I need to change my drip irrigation in here. My whole yard is irrigated with drip, and drip, people think of drip. I mean, if you've had no experience with it, like I did before I put this whole system in, you think it always just drips. But they have what they call spray heads, micro spray heads, and they spray out a little, it's like a little mister. And that's what I put in here, was 2 of those micro spray heads. And what's happened, these succulents have thrived. They've done really well. They've grown up, and now they're blocking the spray heads. So the water isn't getting distributed very well on other parts here, and some are starting to suffer a little bit that I see going on over here. So what I want to do is take out the spray heads and put in regular drip. So that was my idea. I went down to the hardware store and I bought some of these drip stakes. These put out a little pattern, sort of 360 degrees around the stake. Well, here's an example. So anyway, I bought these stakes, and then I bought 1/4-inch drip tubing, and I got home here and got ready to install things, and it turns out the tubing I bought has drippers pre-installed in it. This isn't just the solid tubing. What that means is that the emitters are already embedded in the tubing, and there's little holes in the tubing. This tubing happens to have that every 1 foot there's a drip. And I thought, oh shoot, I just grabbed the wrong stuff, because this looks like the same stuff that you can plug on to these drip stakes. But then, I was thinking about it. I thought, well, I'll take it back. But I realized maybe this is fortuitous. Maybe this is a better solution, because what I can do is weave this around underneath these plants and just let the emitters drip in a pattern underneath here and maybe soak this whole thing. So that's what I'm going to do. My effort here first has got to be to get in and get my spray heads out of there, and that's going to be a little tricky. I might have to cut some of these down a little bit. So down inside, underneath all these guys, is where the original spray. There's one. See right there? I can pull that out maybe. There we go. That's a sprayer, and it sprays in a little 180 degree arc. But as you can see down here with all these in front of it, it's not going to do very well. Oh, there's my frog is watching me. Hi, frog. So that's why I want to change it. Find the other one. I think the other one's back over there, just below that electric outlet. Yep, here it is here. There's that one. So let's see, the stakes come off of these things, first of all. How does that happen? It's hard doing this one hand and hold the camera. There we go. Pull the stake off. And I'll pull the stake off of this one too. Sorry, plant. But you'll like it better when you get proper water. There we go. Now that's connected to this other 1/2-inch strip line. See, this is the kind of tube I was figuring I was going to buy, but I got the wrong stuff. So what we got to do is unplug these from the hose, if I can, like that. And I'm going to reconnect the new tubing after I weave it around in there. So if you don't know anything about drip, now's as good a time as any to start learning. This stuff is pretty easy to work with. It's all plug and play. You cut this tubing with any kind of cutting tool, scissors, knife, anything like that. And you know, the nice thing with doing this, at least the way I approach it, is it doesn't have to be precise. You cut and fit as you go along. The tubing connects to that larger half-inch tube I've got against the wall. It uses these. These are called a barbed connector. And you know, all these things are sold in these little packages. And it's fairly inexpensive, and a lot of it's reusable when you pull things apart. You know, it's like playing with Legos. You can use the parts to put it together at other places. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert that barbed connector. Basically, it's a solid plastic tube with a sort of a tapered end on each side, and it fits very tight into, put my glove on here because that's easier to grip this, into your 1/4 inch tubing, and then the other end is going to plug in the hole that I pulled that other connector out of. And I'm going to, before I do that, I'm going to weave this all through underneath the plants here as best I can. These drippers, I don't know if you can tell, see that spot in the hose is slightly enlarged. There's a little emitter in there, and then there's a little hole. I don't know if that shows up in the camera a little bit. Maybe you can see a little hole there. That's where the water will drip out. And those are every 1 foot. So I want these kind of laying on the soil through here. And let's see how we can do that. I got my barbed connector on there. I'm just going to see if I can weave this in under all these plants. Try not to damage them too much. There we go. So that's on. That's plugged into that one end. Now, I just want to weave this around. I haven't cut it to length yet. I've just still got this entire roll here that I'm feeding it off of. Now, I waited to this time in the evening to do this project because it was kind of warm today and I didn't want to be out here in the sun. This wall is facing west, and this can get pretty warm here. But what you can do that makes this stuff a little easier to work with is you just lay it in the sun, let it warm up, and it's not quite as stiff. And that just makes it a little simpler to shape it. So let's see. I'm going to have to cut this, but I'm going to weave it back and forth through here a couple of times before I just come over this way. So I'm going to cut this off right about here, cutting it right in between a couple of these little drip emitters. Okay, there we go. So let's see, we're just going to curl this end in here. Now, where's my goof plug to plug the end? There it is. So I got to put one of these in the end here. And then I have to also put one back on that 1/2 inch tube that I had pulled out over there. Okay, that's good. So the trick here is going to be finding the hole I pulled it out of, isn't it? Oh, here it is. Okay, that's not too hard to do. There. Good. Okay. Okay, here we go. I'm going to test it. It's all hooked up. This is pretty cool because I've got this system on my Wi-Fi network, and I can run this thing from my tablet or from the phone, which is recording me right now. This particular part of the yard there's 3 zones right here, and the valves are over there. Can you see these? These are the valves for the drip right here. And let's see, we're going to open our app. I don't know if this will show up on the other screen. So this is an Orbit B-hyve controller that runs this. And let's see, I go into my zones, and I have this all laid out here. I want, let's see, it's zone, what zone is it? This one, zone 7. So I go to zone 7, and I'm going to run the test. Comes up, I can run it for how many minutes? I just have it on 5 minutes. We'll turn it on, and there, I hear it. Things are working. I don't know, can you hear that sound? There's air in the tube first that has to work its way out. Oh, there, see, there's water coming out of that dripper there. There's more under there. Yeah, good. So this is just going to act like a little soaker hose and dampen this whole area. In general, each emitter is putting out a half a gallon an hour. We figure I put about 15 or 16 feet of pipe in there with 1 emitter every foot. So let's say there's 15 emitters. So that means I'm getting, what, 7.5 gallons an hour if I run that for an hour. And I really don't have to ever run it for an hour. Programming usually runs this for anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes on a cycle, and it'll do that 2 or 3 times, and it does it maybe a couple times a week. So as you can see, there's very little water that's necessary, because let's see, 10, let's say it does 2 10-minute cycles. That's a third of an hour. 7 gallons, a third of that, what, 2.5, 2 3/4 gallons in, you know, a couple of 10-minute cycles. That's all the water that's used for a landscape area like this, and maybe it does that 2 or 3 times a week. So, you know, anywhere from 5 gallons to 7 or 8 gallons. That's good. That, you know, not using much water. Especially necessary where I live here. I'm in the San Francisco Bay Area, and we've had lots of drought years, and you know, water is always a concern, and it's not cheap for us. So if I can water and have my garden looking nice and not use a whole bunch of that resource, that's great.